Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. We have got our scavenger hunt today. I have a little update on my Jolly Bar borders with a little tip on how to, undo something, thinking about it. I've got a magazine that I'm in, my own quilts that I want to show you, a couple more, and this spectacular quilt behind me. Oh my goodness. The ambassadors for my community made this for me. They each made a block, and then and Suzanne quilted it. And I just cannot thank all of you enough for doing this for me. It is so gorgeous. I'm going to get the other camera and show you all up close the blocks. Doesn't it look fantastic? There's actually more blocks on the back. And I want to thank Barbara and Bobby and Lylene and Doris and Kathy, New York Carrie, Suzanne, who did the quilting, also Brenda, Melissa, Pennsylvania Carrie. We have two Carries, Kendall, Laura, and our ambassador Dennis. Dennis, you don't maybe hear as much, but Dennis has been with me forever. So thank you everybody for this. Thank you, ambassadors. So let's take a look up close. Let's take a tour of the blocks. Aren't they beautiful? And then you can see the quilting really well on some of these. Isn't that great? And then I love the roses. So be sure you see each envelope. This is a free pattern from the Fat Quarter Shop, so I will link the pattern below. And Barbara assembled it. Everybody sent their blocks to Barbara, and then she put them together. Look at this. And I believe she had her kids in on it. They were helping give their advice on placements. This one, Maryland, the Maryland Fabrics, that's Kathy. I just had to point that out. And I believe I had that fabric. I know I had that pink fabric. Okay, let's look at the back. Here is the wonderful label. Look at that. So cool. Okay, let's look at the back. Let me just pull you back so you can see. It's still on the hanger there, but you get the idea. So it's got the beautiful gray and then 3 more blocks with super fun things on them. Look at the hearts. I love that. So pretty. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh, that's my fabric. Don't you love how they all came together like that? Just perfect. Okay, let's do the scavenger hunt. So your scavenger hunt today is to show your piece of fabric that you are saving for something special. We all have that. You might have more than one, but pick one of something that you've been saving for a while. Not something you just bought, something you've been saving for quite a while because you just haven't. Mostly we just don't want to cut into it, right? It's so gorgeous. So I have several, but this is the first one that I found of the several. So I got this one out, and it is a nautical fabric. And I have it because years ago there was this great tote bag that was made. Somebody made this great tote bag with this fabric, and I just thought it was so spectacular. So I think it's 2 yards of this. So if I ever want to make the tote bag, but it is so cool with the ships and the mermaids and just, big scale graphics. I am a huge fan of anything novelty and graphics and stuff like that. It's just what makes my heart sing. It's like, so this is one that I'm saving for something special. Okay, I want to show you. I am so excited to be asked to participate in the 10th anniversary of Missouri Star Quilt Company's Block Magazine. They've been putting out this booklet for 10 years and contacted me a few months ago and said that they would love to have me do a remake. So basically taking something from issue 1, the very first issue that came out. I went through there and I saw one of the projects, and what I did was a remake. It's kind of a freshen up, a twist, however you want to think about it, something that would make it just a little bit different. Let me find the picture. You'd think I'd have it right there. Here we go. So this is my quilt, and Suzanne quilted this for us. I'm going to put a link to her business page because Suzanne is someone who does this as a business, and she does amazing quilting. So if you're looking for that, but this is what I did, a wall hanging, and they did a whole tutorial in the magazine, plus an interview with me about looking at the different ways that you do a quilt in different colors, which is a whole big thing for me. And so I am so honored. And I've known the Doan family since they started their business, and I've been working with them. So I love Jenny and everybody there. So if you have not picked up a Block magazine issue, I will link you to it so that you can pick one up. It's a great issue. They've done a little bit of, if you've been getting it a long time, they've done just a little bit of a freshen up for their 10th anniversary, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, let me give you the tip that I have about taking your, fixing stuff. Let's go on the other side. Having to redo the size of the borders for the Jolly Bar, it's a pain, but it's not really that bad. I've already got the sides done, and I don't have to take as much apart as you might think. So I just want to show you with one of the other two sides that are left, the top. So I've got the top here. See, it was marked top. And then the bottom is here. So it has got the diamonds on either end, and then in the center. So it's on either end in the center. So I will need to remove this one, and then I do not have to remove this piece from the next. I can trim it while it's still attached here. And so for this one, we are doing an 11-inch strip, because that is the size, not that I need to adjust it to now. So let me just pull this off of here real quick. So I took this off. Well, here's the side. This is the side that was attached. And then what I want to do is flip this over to trim it. And so I need to have 11, and then what I do is I fold this back. So now it is the full piece. This is whatever size I originally said. And then I need to trim it to 11 inches. So I will get a ruler that works. This one is a 12.5-inch ruler. So what I want to do is put the 11 mark right at the back of that seam, and then here, and this is what I trim. So I will just trim off this part. And I need to do that for all of the rectangles in here, but I don't need to remove this piece from the diamond now because it's trimmed. So I would then just go down and remove, like on this side, and then I have to remove, 2 more. But I don't have to do the one on the end again, and I don't have to do this side. So see, I have only like half of the seams, so I actually have to remove, which is pretty nice. Then of course I have to sew it back together. But what I'm doing is I am going to remove it and then sew this back on here, so I can just sort of keep track, because I kind of had it in an order that I liked. And so that is this process, which is not that hard. It doesn't take that long. You can kind of zip it along and get it done. The sides didn't take long at all. So I had a couple less seams though, because there were the cornerstones weren't on the end. Those diamonds weren't on the ends. Okay, while I'm here, this is my block a day for today. This is the flower that was used in the letter quilt that I did for my front door. So remember, I got that Valentine fabrics, so I put that in here. And I have to show you the one I'm going to cut for Sunday. Look at the milk cartons. Whoops, I was stuck in here. Look at the milk cartons. Aren't they cute? This was a Ruby Star Society. Clementine was the name of this line. Look how cute they are with the little straws and everything. It was Pack Your Lunch Day the other day, but I think the video was so busy I missed saying it, but it was Pack Your Lunch Day. So I am going to do one of these in honor of packing your lunch, which is not my favorite thing to do, really, by the way. But, sometimes you just have to pack your lunch. But these are darling. Okay, we'll go back to the other side for a few more things. You take everything apart. I guess that's kind of like the goal of that tip, is before you take everything apart, look at it first and see, do you actually have to remove everything, or can you actually do some of the trimming or adjusting with just parts of it removed? So there's a little bit less of you to have to reassemble. The other thing I have today is blocks by you, and you, and you, and you. And so they are all of them. Block a day, our March Cheerful, and they are so darn cool. So let's do a quilt parade for those. Amy starts us off with a very soft palette accented with the darker gray chain, which really, really pops on there. Brenda, I was so excited to see hers because that floral with the daisy is one of my older fabric lines, and so is the green. It just looks so good as a background to the chain. Great job. Brigitte has these super darling little ladybugs with aqua. That is really pretty. Cheryl is our first one here to see a different configuration, and she said that she makes a 30s quilt every spring, and this used a lot of her 2.5-inch squares. It's gorgeous. Love that alternate setting. Corrine has got these are really neat prints with that peachy coral. See the little foxes? They're so cute. Bees on the purple. Darling, darling, darling. Debbie is also got a spring feel with her pastels with the lavender and the turquoise and the beautiful flowers. And I see some cups up there on the bottom, on the top right. Debbie made this one for a friend. Isn't that nice? I love it. Just really simple, easy, fast. Dottie has got orange fabrics. Okay, so now I'm curious, is you going to do the whole quilt this way, Dottie, with all these sort of peachy, orangey colors? I can't wait. It looks like orange sherbet. Heather went for all scrappy. So for those of you who are really interested in that concept and how the quilt would look, here you go. So Heather's turned out amazing, just gorgeous. And it's neat because the chain effect, some of them are so light you don't see it, and some of them are dark. So it really gives you a very asymmetrical feel when you take a look. Heather is doing alternating lights and darks. Look how effective that is. Same chain layout, it's just alternating the colors, just using 2 fabrics. Great job. Irene's has this beautiful print with the little, what are they, bugs? Yeah. It looks so good. And I like that navy chain. And then she used a 3rd fabric in hers with the aqua. Jan has another set of very soft colors with a taupey, it's sort of mushroom, it might just be the lighting, a chain block, but that looks really good with it. Jennifer's is black and whites, or whites with images. There's some green, some little butterflies, and then she has this sort of dark celery green chain with different fabrics. So I wanted you to see how she doesn't use the same fabric line for the chain. Really nice. There's so many ways to do this. Judy has a border on hers. Look at that. 48 blocks, she said, and then a border. It looks fantastic. Kathy, our ambassador, is going for a Irish feel here with the shamrocks. That is so cute. Look at it. And then she is doing a scrappy greens. Those are very dark greens. They're all kind of the same tone, but there's a lot of different fabrics. Another Kathy, and this is 2 different pictures. Here's the blocks, 4 blocks up close, and then, ta-da, a bunch of blocks. Look, she's just got 2 fabrics, as you saw, the background, which is this really, really cool print, and then the dark chain effect, which really does give a strong contrast. Another one of our ambassadors, Kendall, is using a white, this Tula Pink white, which I had, that's the white that was in the butterfly kit. And then he's doing a bunch of different Tula Pink fabrics. They look great. Chris has got this it looks like a grunge. The navy is a grunge. It's kind of that mottled feel, which is really nice since it's the background. It gives a little bit of texture. It's not a solid. And then a bunch of different aquas and creams, a little yellow. The chain is scrappy, so it looks super good. Lori is doing scrappy red and creams, I think. Both of them are scrappy, but the reds are keeping in fairly the same tone, so there are not too many light ones. That makes it read more cohesive. And then the lights are also pretty much the same tone, so you still get the effect of the chain. You don't lose it. Marla said, oh, look at this, the orange, all the orange scrappy on this beautiful, looks like almost like linen background. I see a pineapple fabric on the top there. I love it. Melody has, she's got this is what I'm using for my Jolly Bar. That's the fabric line, and she's got backgrounds are all scrappy. The chains are scrappy, but by block. Each block has all the same fabric for the chain, and then, oh, there's one with different. So, and there you go. I break that rule. It looks fabulous. I can't wait to see it. They pop against the white. Nadine is using all kinds of super fun fabrics, and then her chain is a tulip pink that has like animals on it, like zebras and stuff like that. So I see two fabrics. I see three fabrics I have, like the chocolates and the turtles. Oh, they're the pineapples. Yeah, I have all those too, Nadine. We have similar stash. Oh, there's the ice cream cones. Fun, fun, fun. And here it is when she was, I had to show you this one because Nadine sent the hedgehog, I think it's Hazel the hedgehog for the Critter Parade. And so here's two of her blocks there next to Hazel. Just a couple more. Paula is doing a bunch of different fabrics here for her background. And I can't tell if they're all, if the purple is all the same fabric, but it kind of looks like it is for the chain. It looks amazing. So spring, right? Yellow spring. Here's Vicky's first block. Look how pretty that is with that blue and white. So it's kind of a tealy blue, very crisp. And then the last two are Wendy's, who shows two configurations. So here's the setting with, that's another grunge fabric line, which gives that mottled look. And then she has a bunch of different colors for the chain. And then here it is laid out in a sort of a diagonal, just a diagonal line, which also looks super good. A different way to look at it. Thank you, everybody, for all your amazing shares.
So let me just show you three quilts. Here is the first one, and this is in my Triangle magazine, Triangle book rather. This is in my Triangle book. And so it is super fun. It was designed by a buddy of mine named Jane. And then here is the backing. The back had some extras on it, so that was really cool to do. Okay, and the next one was made for, these are all the quilts that are going to charity. In case you've been missing that that's what I'm doing, I'm showing quilts that I am going to be giving to charity because I have to have, start to make some space again. This was done for a trade group. So this was done for an industry group, and they wanted a free pattern that they could give to quilt shops to hand out. So this was designed for them, showcasing some really cute strawberry fabric from Benartex. So you can see it's done a couple of years ago. So you may have seen that pattern show up in a store or in their newsletters or something like that, but it was not made. It was made for the industry. So I do all kinds of things out there. And then this one is going to a friend. So the coffee shop panel. So I've decided I have enjoyed it long enough, and now it will go to a new home for somebody else to enjoy. And then that's really the fun part of quilts, right? Is that you don't have to keep them forever. They can go on and somebody else can have some fun with it. All right, my friends, Scavenger Hunt, show me that fabric that you have been hoarding and keeping and not using. And I hope you enjoyed seeing the wonderful gift the ambassadors gave me. Reminder, no video on Monday. I will be doing other work, but not video work. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.